Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're not a new subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I release videos once or twice a week, usually once a week, depending on my hectic schedule. So yeah, glad to have you on board and let's get started. So a couple of months ago, I think when I just started this channel, I made it clear that I am into money management. That money management is one of the big things that I talk about, amongst my friends, amongst my co-workers, and believe it or not, amongst myself. I talk to myself all the time. The problem is when you actually talk back and then you engage in conversations back and forth with yourself on the street and people can hear you and then you look like a crazy person. And it's okay because we all are a little crazy, aren't we? Anyway, so today, in that spirit, especially being that the holiday season is approaching and everyone's thinking of how to spend money, to buy gifts, to throw birthday or Thanksgiving parties or dinner, and we're not getting anything extra from our finances usually around this time of the year. If anything, they want you to work harder, but then you have these expenses. So how do you make those things work? How do you balance those concerns? How do you make your money work for you? Well, while I'm not here to tell you how to make your money work for you, I can and I will tell you 5 financial pitfalls you must avoid at all costs. These are pitfalls that we encounter every day in our daily lives. These are things that we probably don't think twice about, but if you pay attention to it, you can actually realize how much money you're throwing away and how much money you could be saving. That way you have a better view of how much money you have in the bank and you can plan better and you can save better, be it for a nice present, be it for your retirement account, be it for a goal you have in mind. Do you have a wedding? Are you trying to buy a car? Do you have this vacation planned, or do you want to indulge in specific luxury items? There's nothing wrong with any of those things I said. It's just how you want to use your money. So if you follow my advice and you pay attention to these steps, you basically get better control of your money and you'll be able to avoid areas in which you find yourself losing control and slipping anywhere from $10, $5, $2, 30 cents, or even $100 that you can actually use in a different way and you can use to make yourself happier, or you can use to buy gifts for yourself. So let's get started. The first pitfall I'll ask you to avoid is fees. Fees. Bank fees, credit card fees, prepaid card fees. Any financial institution that's charging you money to keep your money, you need to cut them off, okay? We live in a society where we have a lot of choices as to where you can store your money. All these banks want your money. They all want your paycheck. They all want your savings account. And if a bank is telling you, hey, you need to pay me $3 to watch over your money, and you're not giving me anything in return, then you have to cut that bank off. You have to go to a different bank and say, hey, what are you going to give me? I've been working at this company for 10 to 15 years. I get direct deposit every 2 weeks or twice a month. So this is the amount of money that's going to be coming to your bank. I'm also going to be using your debit card while I'm shopping online. So I am going to support you. I am going to be using your service. So explain to me why you want to charge me $3 a month just for you to maintain my account. And usually they'll find a way to waive that fee. Sometimes there are requirements that, you need to make sure you get direct deposit, which is fine. Most people get direct deposits anyway. And there's also another requirement, which I honestly find the most troubling, which is requiring you to have a certain amount of money in your account at which they're going to charge you. For example, some banks require you to have over $1,500. If not, they're going to charge you $5 every month. So basically you're penalizing me for being poor is what you're telling me. You're penalizing me for being broke. You're penalizing me for not having that amount in my account at this point in time. Say no to that, because imagine if you get $5 taken out of your account every month, that's 12 months in a year, 5 times 12, do the math, that's a lot of money. That's $60 is that $60? 5 times 12. 5 times 12. 5 times 10 is 50, 5 times 11 is 55, 5 times 12 is $60. Yeah, $60. That's $60 you're throwing away. If you gave me $60 right now, I'll be happy. I'll be your best friend just because. So imagine you're doing that for one account. If you're like me or like most people, we have multiple accounts. I have an account for this and I have an account for that. Imagine if all these accounts had no monthly charges that you have to pay for. $5 here, $12 here, $10 here. No, it's unacceptable. So to the extent your bank tries to charge you fees for anything, apart from, even like the ATM fees are stupid, honestly. But to the extent you have a bank that's trying to charge you for the basic minimum, which is to keep your money in your bank, be sure to cut them off. You can call them, negotiate that fee away, try to get to a different account. And if they're not willing, I promise you, there's another bank. There's another bank that wants your money. There's another bank that wants you as a consumer. There's another bank who wants to show you why they're a greater option or a better option than the other bank. So never, never, never tie yourself to just one option. If the bank is charging you too many fees, cut them off. Try to get another bank, switch to a different bank, because that's one way you can avoid, just shelling out money, and that way you can use the money to buy something for yourself or do something that you honestly want to do for yourself. The second financial pitfall I'll tell you to avoid is the S word. It's every woman's favorite S word, sale. Listen, I am gullible, okay? If there's a sale going on, 98% of the time, I am looking at it, okay? I'm looking at what I can get from the sale. I am trying to figure out, is this item that I like finally on sale? Is this shirt that I like on sale? Is this interior decor item I like on sale? Yes, I get it. But it's also a pitfall because there are always going to be sales. Look at it. We have how many holidays a year? Starting from January, we have MLK Day, we have President's Day in February, we have, Easter coming up March or April, we have Labor Day, well, we have Memorial Day, we have 4th of July, we have Labor Day, we have Columbus Day, we have Veterans Day. Come on. We have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have New Year. And all these stores capitalize on that. They know that we anticipate on them doing sales, so they do these sales. And you have to be sure that it's something you absolutely, absolutely need. And honestly, to the extent you can actually wait until those sales, it's better for you. So, like for example, Express does sale all the time, 40% off, 40% off. And for the most part, I try not to buy anything that I need unless it's on sale. I have the patience to wait, and I will wait until that item is on sale. But if I don't want anything and there's nothing particularly on my radar right now, I'm not going to check Express because I know I'm going to find something. I'm not going to walk into a Target because they have 30% off curtains. I'm not going to walk into H&M because they're like, oh, 10% off the total purchase. No, because what they're trying to get you to do is to spend money. Money that you don't need to be spending. Money that you worked hard for. Money that you're trying to be saving. There's no point in trying to spend all that money just because an item is purportedly on sale. So the more control we exert over our finances, the more we can streamline our needs and our wants into one basket, the more willpower we're going to be able to have, to be more strong-willed to tell ourselves no. So the next financial pitfall for you to avoid is sale. Not all sales are good sales. Every sale is worth looking into to the extent you are looking for something. But if you're not looking for something and you're trying to manage your money the best way you can, do not fall for the S word. Just don't do it, okay? The third financial pitfall I'll tell you to avoid is failing to negotiate your salary or raise. Now, this is very dear to me because, as you guys know, I'm an employment attorney, and what I do understand and what I know, this is not just from statistics, but this is also from personal experience, is that women fail to negotiate their salary. Minus the fact that most women, especially black women, we get 69 cents to the dollar that our white male counterparts make. For that reason alone, we should negotiate. We should ask for a raise. We should ask for, our bonuses. We should ensure that we are our biggest fans. We should ensure that we are tooting our horns in ways no one would ever toot for us. Of course, it's not an easy task. It's nerve-wracking. Every time I asked for a raise or every time I asked for a bonus, I was nervous. I was probably sweating and stuttering, but I asked for one either way. And I made sure that my request was known. I made sure that I backed it up with, financial information or market information, things like that. Because if you don't ask, the answer will be no. And the worst thing that will happen is that they will say no. But it will go on record that A, you asked, B, you know what you're worth, and 3, possibly you might be looking for something else. You might be looking for somewhere else that will value you and you know your worth. So it's very important for you to negotiate your salary, negotiate a raise, and try to get a bonus and negotiate the bonus and provide your employers information as to why you need that bonus. Speaking of employers, the next financial pitfall I'll tell you to avoid is stop leaving pre-tax dollars on the table. By pre-tax dollars, I mean money that is taken out of your account before your final paycheck is computed. Most employers have programs such as health savings account, flex spending account, commuter benefits account, 401ks, well, not a Roth 401k, but just, regular 401k. These programs take money from your paycheck pre-tax and put it aside for you. For example, my favorite is the HSA, health savings account. Many employers offer it. A certain amount of money pre-tax is put away for you from your paycheck each month or each paycheck, and then those funds go into a card that you're supposed to use at the doctor's office or at the pharmacist, or whatever health related or medical related purchases you make. Those funds will come out from that account. Think of it this way: the money's already been paid for, it's already been put aside, and to the extent you don't switch employers, it's going to be valid in that account. And if you do switch employers, it's just going to be transferred to a different account, which you may get charged for annually or monthly, but that's a whole different story. But to that extent, you have money saved aside. Why then use your money that comes to you after taxes have been taken out when you have the opportunity to save before taxes? Another program similar to that is the 401k. 401k savings. You have a regular 401k that you take out money. To the extent your employer matches, great. To the extent they double, great. Most employers don't anymore. Sad. But for you, you take out pre-tax funds and it goes straight to a savings account that is invested whichever way you select, but that's money taken out. If you also have like a commuter benefit program, for example, I have a commuter benefit program because I live in Jersey and I work in New York, and I commute and I spend at least $280 just commuting back and forth a month, in addition to local travel. But I don't have to reach into my pockets for that because I signed up for the commuter benefits program where they take out some money from my paycheck pre-tax, and then I use that money for commuting. So basically when I get my check at the end of the month or at the end of in a bi-weekly period, I know how much of my money needs to be spent on commuting. None, because all that has already been taken care of. All that has been put aside. And also, if you're worried about being put on a different tax bracket, or you're worried about being taxed too much, then these pre-tax savings programs help you as well, because they take out those funds before taxes, which at the end of the day reduces your taxable income, and then you taxed on your taxable income. So for example, you make $80,000 a year, but you have a 401k, you have the HSA, you have an FSA, which is a flex spending account, which helps for child care and dependent care benefits, and you have a commuter benefit program. So those programs all put together, every month you save about $1,000. So at the end of the year, your taxable income is not $80,000. Your taxable income is actually $68,000. And then you tax on that amount. That's less money you have to worry about with regard to healthcare. That's less money you have to worry about with regard to savings. That's less money you have to worry about with regard to commuting. Things like that. These are avenues that you have to take advantage of. Most employers offer these programs and we just ignore them. We think, oh, well, it's not for me. And I was like that. I remember my very first job out of law school. I was working at a law firm and they had a commuter-based program and they were pushing it on me. And I was like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I didn't understand, what I was missing out on, and I didn't have any video to watch or anyone to tell me the benefits of what those programs are. And now I know, and I wish I could go back in time, and I wish I would have started earlier, but you can't. So you grow older, you get wiser, and you realize, okay, well, these are the things that you need to do, and these are the things that help you save the money that you have. The issue is, unless you play the lottery, or unless you come into like a nice inheritance or something, your paycheck is going to stay the same. Any increases is going to be marginal and slowly over time, but your expenses are not going to stay the same. Things get more expensive. Our wants definitely are not going to stay the same. The things that I wanted now are more expensive than the things that I wanted last year or the year before. So how do you balance those things? You have to make your money work for you. And if you're trying to make your money work for you, you have to avoid these financial pitfalls. And then the last financial pitfall I'll tell you to avoid is prepaid credit cards. I already mentioned this earlier on, but I feel like it's worth me delving into a little more. A lot of people feel as though, oh great, prepaid credit cards are the best. I can just put however much I want into this account and then I will make it work. All I have to do is swipe it, and if I don't have it, it's not there. I don't get overdraft fees, I don't get this, I don't get that. Yeah, great. But how do the prepaid credit card companies make money? By charging you fees. That's how they make money. They charge you fees. Sometimes they even charge you direct deposit fees. They charge you transaction fees. So for every $500 you deposit into a prepaid account, they're probably making $20 to $15. And that's your money. That's, you know, that's 2 cards you can get for someone wishing them a Merry Christmas. 2 really nice cards. That's a diffuser set you can get from Bath and Body Works. That's a candle you can get from Yankee Candles. Those are nice presents you can actually give people during the holiday season. And over time, it adds up. Over time, comes hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Things like that. So these are little avenues in which you can save money, and these are avenues in which you can maximize your money and avoid falling into situations where you find yourself lacking control and just not knowing how your money's been spent or where things are going or how things are going, and feeling as though you have no control. Individually, it may look like it's not a lot, but over time, collectively, it's a lot. When you practice these methods of money saving, when you pay attention to these items, when you follow the advice from money professionals and you find yourself avoiding prepaid credit cards here or avoiding bank charges here and negotiating your raise and taking advantage of every single employee's offered savings program out there, you find yourself maximizing your cash. You find yourself maximizing your money and maximizing your money management. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. That's what adulthood is all about. That's what money management is all about. So these are pitfalls that I have personally, suffered in my life, and I've learned over time that avoiding them is the key, and I thought to share them with you guys. I hope you enjoy videos like this. Money management is very, very, very important, and it's something that we need to keep talking about. We need to keep engaging and finding ways to maximize our money and finding ways to make sure we are not being subject to predatory lending practices, or we're not even just looking the other way or throwing money aside without realizing how much money is being thrown away. I hope this video didn't sound too preachy. That was not my intention in any way, shape, or form. I'm just sharing with you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a nice resounding thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to do that. And leave a comment below. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, follow me on Twitter, or send me an email, whichever way. I like to interact with my subscribers, my followers, my friends, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys.